Hello and welcome to History and Facts, where we discover facts about days through the year. Please remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Today we are looking at August 15th through the years. August 12th is associated to National Vinyl Record Day. This one hits close to home, National Middle Child Day, International Youth Day, World Elephant Day, and National Vinyl Record Day. With that done, let's get started with Number 1, 30 BCE, Cleo's demise. The queen who once dined with Caesar and defied empires now prepares for her last act. Cleopatra VII, ruler of Egypt, daughter of the Ptolemies, watches her world collapse. The Battle of Actium is lost. Mark Antony has passed, misled by a false report of her end. In his grief he went alone into history. Octavian, Rome's rising star, demands her surrender. He wants her alive, not for mercy, but for display. Cleopatra, fluent in politics and poison, refuses to be paraded through Rome in chains. She retreats to her mausoleum, sealed inside with her attendants. Ancient accounts differ. Some say she summoned an asp hidden in figs. Others claim a toxic ointment or sharpened hairpin. But the method is secondary. Her death is a message: defiance, dignity, and control. Her son Caesarion, child of Julius Caesar, was dispatched weeks later. Egypt fell later the same week and the Hellenistic era fell with it. Although Rome now ruled over Egypt, Cleopatra's legacy didn't fade, she was transformed into legend. Number 2, 1121 George's Conquest. 1121. In the narrow valley of Didgori, just west of Tbilisi, King David IV of Georgia faced a colossal Muslim coalition led by Ilghazi of Mardin, fresh off his victory at Ager Sanguinis. The Seljuk-led force, drawn from across the Middle East, including troops from the Artukids, Shaddadids, and Emirate of Tbilisi, was estimated by some medieval sources to number over 200,000, though modern historians suggest closer to 100,000 to 150,000. David's army, by contrast, fielded around 55,000, including 15,000 Kipchak horsemen, 500 Alans, and a small contingent of Frankish crusaders. Outnumbered but not outmatched, David deployed a masterstroke. A hidden detachment under his son Demetrius flanked the enemy while the main force launched a frontal assault, trapping the invaders in the valley's choke point. The result was catastrophic for the Seljuks. Tens of thousands were killed, including many commanders, and the remnants fled in disarray. The victory at Didgori wasn't just tactical, it was transformational. Within a year, David reconquered Tbilisi, moved the capital there from Kutaisi, and ushered in the Georgian Golden Age, marked by cultural flourishing, architectural innovation, and religious tolerance. The battle is still commemorated annually as Didgoroba, a national day of pride. David IV, later known as David the Builder, didn't just win a war, he reshaped a kingdom's destiny. Number 3, 1492, the dock to discovery. After departing Palos de la Frontera just 9 days earlier, Christopher Columbus and his fleet, the Niña, Pinta, and Santa Maria, reached the Canary Islands, the last European outpost before plunging into the Atlantic. The stop was far from ceremonial. The Pinta's rudder had been sabotaged, forcing emergency repairs in Gran Canaria. Columbus then anchored at La Gomera, where he recruited seasoned sailors and stocked provisions, including fresh water and livestock. He also witnessed the eruption of Mount Tata, a volcanic spectacle that made its way into the Voyage's logbooks. Strategically, the Canaries sat within the trade wind belt, a natural propulsion system that would carry the fleet westward. Columbus lingered, finally departing on September 6, a calculated move that maximized navigational advantage and minimized risk. Though he believed he was heading to Asia, this final European stop became the springboard to the New World, which he would reach on October 12. The Canary Islands weren't a detour, they were the launchpad for one of history's most consequential miscalculations. Number 4, 1765, the Treaty of Traitors. In the sweltering shadow of Mughal decline, British officer Robert Clive inked the Treaty of Allahabad with Emperor Shah Alam II. It was more than parchment and politics, This was the moment the British East India Company transformed from merchant to monarch. The treaty granted the company Diwani rights over Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa, allowing it to collect taxes directly from millions. The emperor, weakened and desperate for protection, had little choice but to surrender economic sovereignty in exchange for survival. What began as a trade agreement quietly morphed into the architecture of empire. With offers full and authority legitimized, the East India Company built an administrative machine that stretched across the Indian heartland. This single treaty laid the foundation for nearly 200 years of British rule. A fading emperor's seal had unlocked a colonial future, its impact echoing from palaces to peasant villages in every dusty ledger stamped with company ink. Number 5, 1877, Deimos of Mars. At the U.S. Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C., astronomer Asaph Hall peered through the world's largest refracting telescope, a 26-inch lens aimed at Mars. Days earlier, he had spotted a faint object orbiting the red planet, Phobos, its innermost moon. But Hall wasn't done. On this night, he identified a second, even more elusive satellite, Deimos, a rocky fragment just 12 kilometers wide, orbiting farther out. The discovery shattered the long-held belief that Mars had no moons and confirmed speculative predictions dating back to Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, which eerily described two Martian satellites over a century earlier. Deimos, named after the Greek god of dread, is a quiet companion, its surface pocked with craters, its orbit nearly circular. Hall's find wasn't just poetic, it was pivotal. It helped refine calculations of Mars' mass and gravitational field, and it marked a triumph of observational astronomy. Using nothing but optics and persistence, Hall expanded our understanding of planetary systems and set the stage for future missions to Mars. Today, Deimos remains a target of scientific study. Number 6, 1877, Phonics without folly. In a cluttered lab in Menlo Park, New Jersey, Thomas Edison unveiled a device that would forever change how humans interact with sound, the phonograph. Unlike previous attempts at sound transmission, Edison's invention didn't just carry sound, it captured it. Using a grooved cylinder wrapped in tinfoil and a stylus connected to a diaphragm, the phonograph could record vibrations and play them back. The first words ever etched into audio history? A nursery rhyme. Mary had a little lamb. The playback stunned Edison and his assistants. For the first time, a machine spoke with a human voice. The implications were seismic. Edison's phonograph laid the groundwork for the music industry, audio archiving, and even voicemail. Though the original 1877 recording was lost, Edison recreated it 50 years later at the Golden Jubilee of the phonograph in 1927. His invention sparked a race to refine sound recording, from wax cylinders to vinyl records and beyond. What began as a tinfoil experiment became a cornerstone of modern media. Number 7, 1990, Swearanosaurus rex. On the sun-baked cliffs of South Dakota's Cheyenne River Indian Reservation, fossil hunter Susan Hendrickson stumbled upon fragments of bone jutting from the rock, what would soon be revealed as the most complete Tyrannosaurus rex skeleton ever found. The discovery was pure chance. Her team from the Black Hills Institute had paused to fix a flat tire, and Hendrickson wandered off to explore untouched terrain. What she found was staggering: over 250 bones, including an intact skull, vertebrae, and limbs, buried in late Cretaceous sediment. The specimen, later named Sue, in her honor, was 90% complete by bulk and stood 13 feet tall at the hips, stretching 42 feet from snout to tail. But Sue's story didn't end in the dirt. The fossil ignited a fierce legal battle over ownership, involving the landowner, the U.S. government, and the Sioux tribe. Eventually, Sue was auctioned in 1997 for a record $8.3 million and became the crown jewel of the Field Museum in Chicago. Scientists believe Sue died around 67 million years ago near an inland sea, her remains preserved by mud and water that shielded them from scavengers. Today, she's not just a fossil, she's a window into prehistoric life, a celebrity in the paleontology world. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed your visit to History and Facts. If you did enjoy, or find the video interesting, we have many more coming. So please like, tell us your favorite in the comments, and subscribe, to be notified when we release a new one. See you next time.